I'm going to recreate a little project here. I should say it was a sign that you can buy out of a catalog. And I thought this is going to be really easy to make. I'm going to make both of these. And so I'm going to start this project with some of this paper out of this paper stack that I got at Michael's. I got it like 2 years ago, and I Googled it, and unfortunately I can't find it in stock anywhere. But any black and white tree paper, you could use like music paper. All sorts of things are going to look good in the background. So don't fret if you can't find this exact pack. It is a gorgeous pack though. And then I'm going to use one of these framed sign kits from Crafty. It is a site that I have used many times. It has very inexpensive unfinished wood. And then these sign kits, this one is a little bit under 12 by 12, and it's only like $3.60 for this frame kit. So you get the back here like you're seeing this, and then you get the four sides. Now this one was already painted white. It does come in an unfinished wood, but it's just painted with some white chalk paint. And I'm using my tape gun there to get the sticky down, and then I slide it in here. So you can slide it both ways. So you can either make it so it's a thinner box sign or a thicker box sign. So I'm going to go ahead and do the thicker, and you can see you just slide these on, and I'm going to use some wood glue and glue it together. I found that it was a little off, and using a dab of hot glue helped keep it in place, and it made it so much easier. But by putting the paper down first, it's going to have the paper going under the edges of the frame, so it's going to keep this nice and intact, and it's going to look perfect. And so put your sign together after you put your paper on, or if you just want to print the back, that'll work too. So you'll see there was actually another sign that was made on the back that we're just covering up. Okay, so now that that's all together, I'm going to decorate here. I have this little twine wreath here. I do believe it is from Dollar Tree, but it's been in my stash for a while. And then I have some ribbon also from my stash. This little cardboard deer is from Dollar General. You get them in a pack, I think of like 5, really inexpensive. I've used them a lot on crafts. And then just some ribbon from my stash, some floral from my stash. Again, you can get this at Dollar Tree. This particular one's from Michael's. And I'm just going to break off 2 little like branches here to put at the top. And this is an easy peasy project. And then it's just kind of a matter of gluing it all down. Now, I did end up putting the deer down a little farther because I was a little bit worried about how it would adhere onto the wreath, and I don't like how low I put it. So, I mean, if you're recreating this, I would put it up a little higher, but that's okay. And then I just add the ribbon around it, glue the ribbon down, and the piece off to the right side there that I'm kind of copying, it didn't have a bow, but I added a little bow, and I really like how that turned out. And that's it. Pretty easy peasy project.
Hurry now, should have been done by now. Seems we're running late. Let's put the food on the table, fast as we're able. Guests are coming at 8. When we're caught in the Christmas rush, it's so easy to lose touch with the true meaning of things and what really matters. Just look up in the December night. There is one star shining bright. It shines on one and all. Shine on, Christmas star. Shine on.
Last year, I got these 2 ski signs in my Michaels grab bags, and I knew I was going to make them over this year, and I'm really excited about how they turned out. Okay, so first I covered it in white chalk paint by Dixie Belle in cotton, and you can see the top one there has the 2 coats, and then I'm putting the second coat on here for the second ski. Now you could still see the image through it, but that's okay because I am going to try something new today. So when I got my Dixie Belle paints, I also got the Crackle medium, and I really wanted to try that out. So the directions say to stir it really good and then apply a coat, and then you have to let it completely dry, and then you put the next color paint on top of it. So I'm just going to go ahead and put these down on both the skis. You can see my giant mess of a desk. I really need a bigger desk. And so, like I said, and when it does dry, it's going to be shiny. And don't worry about that because, again, we're going to put another coat of paint on top of it, and then this is what's going to crackle through. Now, I really like the Dixie Belle paints and products, and the color I ended up putting on top of this is Golden Brown by, did I use Golden Brown or Mocha? I think it's the Golden Brown by Craft Smart, and it is terrible. It is absolutely terrible. I do not like it. Yeah, that is the what I used. I just bought some Craft Smart paints, and I am just not happy with them. Or maybe it was the folk art. I can't remember. No, let's see. It's the Craft Smart paints, and I'm not happy with them. They got real clumpy, and there was little like dried pieces in it, so that was kind of a bummer. Okay, so while that sets aside to dry, because then it will crackle, I'm going to use these 3 ribbons. So these 3 colors here are kind of what I'm going for this year in my decor. They're just so like soft and elegant. Now this particular one, the champagne one here that I'm using, was in my Michaels grab bag, but the other 2 I bought just this season. And so I'm just making one of these big bows, and this is the easiest way to make a bow. I can't believe this is my favorite way. If you've been watching my videos recently, you know I've been making several of these bows. Now, I do suggest that you make each color just a little bit shorter. I thought that making them all the same was going to work for my vision, but I do wish that I had gone and done different size loops. Okay, so now remember to, if you've seen this bow before, if your design is on one side only, or the sparkles are on one side only, when you get to the center, you twist it. That way your loops are always going so that the pattern or the glitter or whatever is on the outside, the part you're gonna see. And actually these 2 colors being the same size was okay, but the cream I use after this, I really wish that I had done shorter loops on it, but because it's wired, I was actually able to kind of bend them and make them shorter at the end, so that worked out. So the 2 colors here, this cream and the sage, this goldish champagne sage, are the ribbons I used on my tree this year, and it is gorgeous. I got a beautiful flocked tree, and I used this ribbon to go down and used similar colored ornaments, and it is stunning, stunning. And really, you know, what matters is making my little one happy, making it a tree that she just gets to enjoy looking at. And so while this seems like a very like grown-up look, she is absolutely in love with it. She just keeps saying, "Mom, our tree is so pretty." And so I'll actually share at the end what my tree looks like so far. I'm not totally done with it. I kind of am a slow decorator. I get started and I get tired. I have a bad back, and so I can only do things for a short amount of time. So after I get this video uploaded, I am going to go try and finish decorating. Okay, look how cool that crackle looks. Easy way to do the crackle finish. There's some like homemade ways you can do it, but I do love convenience and it already be in something you can do. And don't worry, I will link all the products I used in this video. I'm really trying to use wood glue a lot more. It's going to give it so much more stability than just hot glue, but I always use hot glue as well just to give that fast, sticking power. So I'm just crossing these. They're going to just be the kind of decor that can just stand up against something like my fireplace. Look how gorgeous this bow turned out. And as you can see there, what I can do is I pinch it underneath and it gave those cream bows, the cream ribbon, that shorter loop look that I was going for. I always try to do my tails longer than I think I'm going to need because when I used to just eyeball it like, okay, I think this is what I want, and they were never long enough. I got these bells at Michael's this year. I was just kind of trying to show you what you could do. You would obviously cut that top part off, but see how cute the balls are hanging. I am going to end up using these ones that I got at Joann's, and I'm going to string those to hang from the bow. But I also wanted to make a tag as well. So I go into my stash. I have all sorts of tags. This is a pre-made one from Dollar Tree, as well as that other one's from Dollar Tree. This is to show you could use pre-made ones if you're doing like that green and red look, or you can flip them over, paint them, and redecorate them yourself. So I had this white tag in my stash, and then I'm using this Let It Snow from Dollar Tree. And I'm going to paint that in sage green from Craft Smart. I bought a bunch of that because I knew my decor this year was going to have that color. So now here's something really cool, and again, you're probably so sick of hearing me say in my stash, but like I'm a collector and I have to use stuff from my stash, is this puffy paint. So it's actually from Stampin' Up! And it's called Snowflake Accent Paint. I looked at their website and they no longer carry it, but I did find something similar at Michael's. So basically it's just like white puff paint, but when you heat it, it turns into like a flocked snow look. Really cool. I also just kind of painted around the edges of my tag just to get it, give it a little extra look to it and give kind of that rustic look since we did rustic skis. So after I get this glued down, I'm going to set it aside, and then I'm going to string my bells, and I'm just using some white like macrame cord, twine, anything you can do with that. And I'm going to string them at different lengths. And then I am going to string my tag, and then I am going to tie those all together and then adhere everything down to the skis. And I just think this is a beautiful, beautiful piece. I'm so excited to have it in my decor this year.
Simmer down, pass a big smile around, now that everything is gold. Children hunker down to see what's hidden beneath the Christmas tree. Look but not touch, they're told. When we're caught in the Christmas rush, it's so easy to lose touch with the true meaning of things and what really matters. Just look up. Shine on, Christmas star. Shine on.
I wanted to quick and share a tumbler that I sublimated using HTVRTONT's new automatic tumbler press. I'm just going to prepare my image here, but I want to talk about the press for a moment. I love anything that's automatic because let me tell you how often I get interrupted. And it's really nice when something just opens and stops pressing. Now, I already have their automatic heat press, which I use for shirts and other fabrics, and I absolutely love it. And so when they came out with this tumbler press, I definitely knew it was going to be a great addition to all the presses I have. So I'm just going to tape this up. This heat press does come with some of this heat resistant tape as well as the heat resistant gloves that you will need to not burn your hands. So the way this works, it works just like their heat press is you've got your temperature and your time. And so for this particular project, I will be putting this at 380 degrees. Now the time is 120 seconds for each side. So with this one, you're going to want to press it and then you are going to want to turn it 180 and then press it again. Now I do feel like I got this a little bit overheated, so I would probably either turn the temperature down a little bit or not press it for quite as long, but it still works just fine. And I'm just putting some parchment paper over this as well. So then I'm just going to feed it in and give it a start. I will not make you watch it for 120 seconds, but just to give you an idea of how it presses. So all you do is you just hit that green light and it presses it. You're going to see it close here. I have tried making tumblers in like a mug press and that did not go well. But I'm really pleased with HTVRTONT's products. I was going to say projects. Their vinyl is my favorite. It's my favorite over brand name ones that will not be named, but they have HTVRTONT's vinyl is the best. So I wanted to share this with you because there is going to be a Black Friday special. It actually will go through December 3rd, and this will be 20% off, plus using my discount code will give you another 5% off. So I will have that down in the description. And this is the 4th tumbler I've ever made, and each time I'm getting better and better, and the seam on this one is almost unnoticeable. I'm really excited about that. But like I was just saying earlier, it got a little cooked a little bit longer than I thought, and the paper kind of stuck to the tumbler, and I was like, oh no, and it kind of had like a gritty feel to it, and I was like, oh shoot. But all I did was take a baby wipe and wipe down the whole tumbler, and it was perfect. It was perfectly fine. It was all shiny. Any residue that kind of stuck on it all went away. So if that happens to you, just grab a baby wipe, or probably even just a washcloth with water on it. But anyhow, super cute. This is going to my oldest daughter, who is the cat mom. She is the cat whisperer. She has, we love cats, but she is the cat mama. And so this tumbler is for her. So once again, make sure you check the description down below for this awesome sale.
Shine on.
Okay, once again, like I said, I'm going to make something similar to that picture off to the right. So I just grabbed this triangle piece from Dollar Tree and I'm going to paint it with that same sage green. Then I went into Cricut Design Space. I picked a couple trees that I liked, and then I made a triangle the size of my actual sign, and now I'm going to fit my design down into that triangle. So what I'm going to do first is I'm just going to change that color to white. That'll just make it a little easier for me to see. And then I'm going to turn off the lock ratio so that way I can move this, I can make it wider or however I want. So you could actually just type in the size you want, but I wanted to just kind of play with it this way. And so as you can see, you just kind of pull it around, and then once you get the image that you like, you can either delete that triangle behind it, or you just hit cut and it will cut this one different, this particular image, because it's a different color. And that's it. It's really easy to get an image to work on onto your sign. Okay, so I used kind of a matte gold and just adding it here. I'm just going to pull back a little bit so that I make sure I get it nice and centered, and make it so that it will go down easily. Look at how easy this is to put down. This is a simple project. This is all it is. You could add bows or whatever you like, but I just thought this was a nice addition, as well as I got the idea from that other sign we made as well out of that catalog. I love to get inspiration from catalogs, websites, and I can make things for way cheaper. And sometimes I like something simple to add into my decor. And this is what my tree looks like so far. So this is just with the ribbon on it, these present picks that I got from Michaels, and then, no, I don't even think I have the ornaments on yet. So like I said, stay tuned because I will show you my finished tree, but it's beautiful just on its own. I hope you enjoyed these projects. Make sure you come back next week because I will have a part 2 to this video, and I will show you how all my decor turned out, as well as make some more decor pieces that will match. Until next time, happy crafting.